Hello, this is Victor for Monday, May 22nd. Let's look at the daily chart. This is what I'm seeing in the markets. And we'll start with the Dow, DIA. And we had the bearish tweezers a couple days ago. And you can see we are not coming down. RSI 2 is pointing downward, as well as the RSI 5. We are above the 200-day moving average and below the 20-day moving average as well. So we're kind of going to be bouncing around in the middle of all of this. Now, based on what I'm seeing here, looks like we do have potentially room to go further down. How far down can we go? Well, we got support down here, so who knows? We might get the triple bottom here before we do get a bounce. Again, this is the Dow. It's starting to fall a little behind from the Qs and the SPYs. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a breakdown and break below this support area here. So something to watch and keep an eye on. Let's see here. Was it? Oh yeah. We have a setup on the 2-hour chart, and let's just take a look at the 2-hour chart real quick here. When I say setup, this is what I'm seeing here is we're dropping down. We're oversold on the 2 hours here for both the RSI 2 and 5. So if we do get a break above this trend resistance downward sloping trend line, then we could potentially go back up to this area here. So this is what I mean by a setup. So we're oversold, looking for a breakout, a reversal, and in this case we'll be happy we can get up on this area here. Let's get an idea of how much of a move here. Say we get a breakout from here, head on up to this area. That's 0.6 times 3 if we use the leverage. You know, that's a little risk to reward compared to I put a stop right here, right on the 200-day moving average. And I would use UDOW, UDOW. Okay, going over to the SPY. Just move this over here. Okay. I'm seeing the RSIs pointing downward. They're not overbought or oversold at this point. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this. Going over to the Qs. We do have a bearish divergence on the 2-hour. And also on the daily, if you could see here, this peak versus where the trend is now, right here, it is lower than here. So we had a high right here, the high as far as price action, including this, and this is lower from this previous peak. So we have a bearish divergence, meaning that there's going to be potential that we're going to go down to the downside first. Visiting down here, you see it as well over here on the RSI 5, looking for a pullback. How far pullback? Maybe we'll get down here to this support here of the 20 and this other support, major support line here as well. So there's room for right there. Going to the IWM, we got overextended here and here. You could see on the 2 and the 5. Now we're pointing downward, looking for a break below the 5-day moving average. Here you got some support here. So could we get a little bounce in this area and then head up higher to this gap fill? Or we're going to get a breakdown and look for a retest down in here. So just have to wait and watch. As far as the here it is. Right there. I'm going to either use the TNA to go long or TZA to go short 3 times, either leverage. Going over to the silver. Okay, we almost got oversold, getting close to being oversold. Now the thing is we are under the 20-day moving average. and also below the 200-day moving average. So it's going to be a lot of resistance trying to break, continue up higher. So however, because it's being oversold, if we get a break above this trend line, we may get a retest right around in this area here, or where the 200-day is. Going over to gold. Okay, we're still trading below this wedge that it broke down. It's trying to bounce up. Now it's pulling back. See how it retests back, excuse me, back up to what was once support, now became resistance right here. And on the RSI, it got overextended. Now it's pulling back here. If we get a close above this resistance line, then we continue, probably try to retest up here on the gold. As far as breaking down, potentially could drop further down. We are trading below the 5-day moving average here, this white line. So I do currently have a position GLL. Looking at oil, you can see we got bouncing along this support here. Actually, I should make that a green rather than red. So there we go, that support. Just finished being overextended, almost on the RSI 5 as well. So might get some support here before we get a little bounce up in this area. So let's see here, zoom in. Again, really no setup to either pick which direction to go. And then finally, let's look at Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin, we've overextended in the RSI 2 and the RSI 5. So we have a setup here. And the setup meaning that if we can start getting a reversal, we could potentially head back down to this support area here. And again, this should be green. Be consistent. Right here, it's support. And we'll just have to watch. Probably looking for a pullback. Now the 5-day moving average is pretty far extended out that way. On a situation like this where I'm seeing the overextended, well, actually I'm already on the 2-hour, that's why. So let's go to the daily. We got the bearish setup on the 2-hour, and you can see on the daily here we are almost overextended on both the RSIs. So zeroing in on the 2-hour then, in that case, I would wait until the close below the 5-day moving average before I consider getting in. Again, this is on the 2-hour chart. And that's it. Next quick video, I'm going to give you some of my picks for this week and some of my outcomes of the picks that were from last week. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video and take care. Bye.